Okay, welcome those of you that have just joined us. We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to share with your team. What do you want to create, achieve, and enjoy the result of today? Because of this meeting, come in with intention, knowing what you want to get out of it. 2 minutes left to get your answer together. If you've already written it down, share with your team.
How was your appointment?
VA.
So the people that keep calling are all calling for the VA.
The VA.
They all said the Google number says this is the number for the VA.
Go ahead and put yourselves on mute when you're sharing too, so it doesn't distract the other teams. 1 minute left. Okay, awesome. Welcome, everybody. I hope you learned some great things about your team. Now, why do we do that? Because without having intention before going into an experience, whether it be the day, the new year, whatever it is, without having massive intention, it's like shooting arrows out into the air and hoping that they land. So I've noticed with myself in any great experience that I've had, event I've attended, coaching session, I get out of it what I came to get out of it. So an example of this would be I used to be part of a coaching management group where we would go to these events every quarter, and it was essentially the same event. Like they would teach the same lessons each quarter, and we'd go, and each time I'd have something different. So one time my doctor, before we went, told me, you're gonna take over re-exams. You're gonna do all the re-exams. Everything re-exam minus the palpation, of course. So she said, go, learn what you need to learn. Here's the script, here's the materials. And then I went to this event that they were not training on re-exams, but I thought, I'm going to learn how to do re-exams this weekend. So I went, and all of a sudden I felt like the entire event was about re-exams. I kept hearing all these powerful one-liners about consistency and wellness, and I'm taking all these notes, and I felt like I was attending a re-exam event. And the reason is because our brain is amazing. We've got 2 billion bits of information coming at us per second, and our brain only processes 135 bits. And the way that it does that, 34, sorry. The way that it does that is it deletes, distorts, and generalizes all the information coming in to basically give us what we need in that moment. So I always say that our brain's a little bit lazy, right? It's designed to survive. It's not designed to make us happy. And so it's going to be taking in information and just pulling out exactly what we need. So whenever you come into a group setting, it's essential to know, what do you need today? Why are you here? So that you can pull that information and also guide questions, have laser sharp focus when you're guiding your questions toward myself and toward the group, so that this is an extremely valuable and profitable experience for you and your entire team. Does that make sense? Yeah. Awesome. Who feels more focused just from taking that 2 minutes to set your intention for the day? Who feels more focused and like you're going to be more successful today? Show of hands. Amazing. Yeah, good. Okay, so before we dive into content, I always like to check in with the group, and I want to hear about some of your wins, what you're experiencing, what you've implemented. So what are your wins of the week or wins of the month? Those of you that I only see once a month, share those with all of us. And I'd love for you to share it in a way that's going to benefit everyone here, because that's the real power of a mastermind, is you all bring unique value to the table. So when you share your win, what you're celebrating, what's going really well in your practice, make sure to share something constructive, like why that happened. Like, this is because we implemented this step. And I found that sometimes this can be the most valuable part of these masterminds, is learning and getting ideas from other offices and what we're all doing. So those of you that are listening, when someone is sharing what their win is, your job is to listen and write down, like, what's the lesson here? What am I learning from this person sharing, either personally or professionally? Does that sound good? Yes, I love this part. I think you're going to love it, those of you that are here for the first time. So who wants to go first? Just take yourself off mute if you're ready. What are you celebrating? What's going really well in the practice? Or I could just call on people. Yes, Dr. Jody Green. Are you the doctor or the CA?
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm the CA.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
And I'm very new. This is actually my second CA video thing ever in my life.
Nice. Well, you're in the right place.
And I'm also new to chiropractic.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I started working in June.
We have CAs in this group that have been a CA for a week, and we have CAs that have been a CA for 20 years, all in this mastermind. So it's good for everyone. So share with us what's working for you so far. What are you celebrating about chiropractic and just being immersed in this environment?
It's amazing. It's been so positive. I love it, which I needed in my life. So what I am happy about is that we've kind of shifted and changed the way we're doing our scheduling.
Oh, good.
I like things to be very organized, and I like, things to be consistent and things like that. I can work better in that kind of environment. And before, when it was all very new, like I said, to me to begin with, well, now I just learned how to even use a software that I was new to, but now we're changing that. So, but it's minimized errors like that I can make by doing, like, there's she's shortened, the hours, not that we're here, but like she's created a way where we can schedule certain patients for certain reasons. It's just been a huge blessing and everything for the work environment, but it helps not just the doctor and myself, but it also helps the patients. It keeps all of us focused. It helps the week go smoother. And I mean, we've just started this and it's already, you can like see the rhythm working so much better. So I'm super excited and happy.
Congratulations. That's great. It's amazing with scheduling. Like there's so many offices I've sat down with them in their schedule and we've been able to tighten it so much that we half their hour, like their hours of patient flow or patient hours, And a lot of times it just doesn't seem possible until you see it and you see what other offices are doing, even with a bunch of modality, even if you have corrective care and all these different things. So if anyone here wants to make your schedule more efficient, if you feel like it's stressful, if you feel like you and your doctor are spending all day in the office, just contact me. I'd be happy to do a quick 10-15 minute call with you to go over your schedule and see how we can really tighten it up and make it efficient, because it brings so much freedom to you guys too. And it's also really nice to have all of that energy at one time, like all the patients coming in and you have your healing hour and then you have your admin time outside of that, rather than trying to have it all like mixed in. You're switching gears from like admin stuff to patient stuff. You could just be focused and present right where you're at. So that's awesome. So notice, okay, this is so cool. We've got someone brand new to chiropractic, brand new to the practice. I asked her what she loved about it. She said, I actually wrote down because I thought it was so powerful: positive, love it, need it. So I'm just thinking like that's the freedom that we bring to people in chiropractic. Like that's what chiropractic really is. And the freedom you're bringing them is so far beyond healthcare, right? If you think about your patients coming in, I bet most of them are coming for the positive environment, right? Because it's a place of love, it's a place of healing, and they actually need it. Like you've created this culture where they need it. And that's so powerful. So start to think about that, not just what you do, like I'm a CA, right? But what do you really do? You bring freedom and life to people, right? You change people's day, their week, you reset their brain and nervous system, right? There's so much power in what you bring. And I have the honor of hearing all the time stories from CAs with patients or people that came in to them that were on the verge of suicide or really suffering in different areas of their life. And it's because of their interaction with the chiropractic assistant that this was the place that really turned their life around. And then of course, obviously, the chiropractic is going to help with the mind body part of that as well. But that's really why like our time and our conversations with patients have to be super intentional, because it's a healing environment. Like every word, every one-liner matters. You want to have power behind what you're saying and know that like that might be the only place they go all day where somebody smiles at them, looks them in the eye, really takes that time. So thinking about that, and even before going into the office, just like you set your intention for this meeting, right? Setting your intention before going in. Like, what's my intention today with my patients? What am I bringing to the table? Is so powerful and really changes lives. Like it goes so far beyond. That's why I love this. That's why I've made this my career, CAing, right? Because you're really changing people's lives. It's so powerful. Awesome. Okay, let's hear from a couple more teams. Who wants to share next? Who had something that right away you're like, I have a win? Wellness Choice.
Everyone, we're our Bass Chiropractic team from Beverly Hills, California. And one of our biggest wins that we've had is our workflow. So us here, we're a pretty solid team, very small, but our workflow has gotten a lot better. And we've been able to accomplish this through our morning meetings and our end of day huddles of the things that we really need to get done throughout our day. And to help kind of each other prioritize and tackle our to-dos that we need to get done for the day or for the week. But we try to stick to a daily thing.
Yes.
So if like we need to catch up on like scheduling patients, or if we need to catch up on doing statistics, you know, and we were doing this yesterday where we kind of asked to help to all tackle it together so that we can move on to the next task.
Oh, that's perfect. You're gonna love today then. It's right on target for where you're at. That's awesome. Before you go on mute, really quick, what would you say to if there were any CAs here today that for whatever reason, with the doctor, them, or whatever reason they haven't implemented or haven't been consistent with a pre and post shift huddle, what would you say to them?
I would say, in order for your team to be successful and to be on the same page together, even if it's 10 minutes, like, you know, those 10 minutes are very crucial. And it would be very beneficial if everybody had like we all do our little notebooks and we write our to-dos and we all share them together, and we all check back in with each other towards the end of our shift. So definitely the 10 minutes before your shift, before the first patient walks in, and the 10 minutes towards the end of your day as the last patient leaves. It's really important to do that so that we can kind of hold each other accountable for our to-dos and to help each other out. Because sometimes, you know, like for me, example, sometimes I finish my to-dos for the day. So it helps me check in with my team so that I can help with scheduling, or I can help with statistics, so that we can all, you know, have that bond of like, I trust you, you know, you can come to me, or, you know, you trust me, I can help you, so that we can all help each other out. Because at the end of the day, without teamwork, you can't be successful. You can't be successful in a business like this.
It's essential. And even if for whatever reason you're not doing a pre and a post shift huddle, you can implement it. It's actually the team's responsibility to lead those. So you could do it. Be like, hey, here's what I learned in the blame it on me. Be like, I learned in the mastermind, we're gonna do pre-shift, and you can work with me or one of your other coaches to create the structure for that. But the pre-shift is energetic, and you're setting your intention and you're raising your energy as a team and doing something to vibe at a really high level. And so that way your whole day is like bam, 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 you know. And then the post shift is follow through and like closing out and making sure that everything was achieved that you set out to do. And if you didn't, not making people feel bad about it, right? But just setting out the next action step, like how are you going to make this happen? When? So I've got a whole structure for that we'll train on another month. But for now, like whatever you have for pre and post shift, and I know a lot of you already have the structure, just do it. If you're the only one in the office, do it. Go through the schedule, set your intentions, right? Go for it. Invite people to join. Be like, here's what I'm doing. I'm coming in 5 minutes early and doing a pre-shift. Who wants to be there? You know, to get real clarity on our day. It's super powerful. Thanks for sharing, guys. Okay, so one more team. Who else has something that's a huge win that you want to share? Something you've implemented from your coaching, something you guys have been doing different in the practice. Yes, Shelly. Hi, Shelly.
Hi. I wanted to share that like a win that I have been personally implementing was the posture script for the posture screens, you know,
Yes.
and I think that's been really nice to implement with them, you know, and we're able to do more posture screens too in general because I'm able to do them. So
Totally.
I think that's a big win.
That's awesome. Who here does posture screen? Nobody, just Shelly. Such great thing. Even if you don't, having those scripts is such a great way to just learn how to communicate posture organ to people. Like literally, if I meet people out in the community or I'm on a flight and they ask me about what I do, I always end up using that posture script, right? Like, oh, I work with chiropractors and their teams, you know. Or if you think about it, your posture is the window of your spine and nervous system. Any of those postural distortions represent injured, damaged, weakened areas of the spine, shutting down the energy to all of your vital organs. Or if someone's like, oh, I don't need chiropractic, or I don't have any back pain, bam, you can pull little pieces from the posture script. Well, actually, if you think about it, right, from the very first time a baby's born, they're pulled out by their neck, you know? So if you have any postural distortions, it blocks nerve flow to vital organs. And they're like, oh, really? You know, so it's just such a valuable tool to have these things under your belt to really communicate. And then when you communicate that way to your patients, that's how they communicate to the community. So you're literally teaching your patients how to talk about chiropractic. So if you're like, how are you feeling today? Or how's your back? They're going to think chiropractic's all about back pain and all about how they're feeling. You know, if you're like, how has your life improved since you came in? They're going to link their life improving to chiropractic, which is the truth. That's the freedom that it's brought them. So remember, like the way you ask the questions are going to be really powerful. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. I wish we had time for everyone else to share, but if you want to throw in the comment box your wins, that would be awesome. We'd love to see them, or on our Facebook group as well. And so today's session is all about follow up and follow through. And this is my favorite time of year to do it. We're right at the beginning of November. I like to take the first week of November, or even the first 2 weeks if you need it, to clean up my year. And then that way, once you get into holiday time, you're not playing catch up, because we've all done that, right? You're like last week before the new year, you're trying to clean things up. So you want to look at every area of the practice, tip to tail, like what do we need to follow up on? So there's the obvious stuff. Guys, I'm going to just open this blind a little bit because there's this weird light mark that I know will bother some of my chiropractors. Okay. Oh, it's not better. Sorry, it's the window that's too high. I can't reach that line. Here, I'll try to scoot this. Okay, so follow up and follow through. So there's a couple categories for this. There's the obvious stuff like paperwork stuff that you have to do before the end of the year. And I want you to think about that and just start jotting down. We're each going to make our action list. So just jot down if there's anything you know that you guys need to do in the practice before the end of the year. And it doesn't even have to be something you have to do. Just like, what are things you've been hearing and throwing around? Let's get it all organized in one place. So as those come up throughout the next 10 minutes, jot them down. And then let's talk about like anything that's lingered. Like, what are lingering things you've talked about doing? Like, we're going to start getting patient testimonials, or we're going to start doing posture screenings. We're going to start doing this. We're going to start doing that. You've heard your doctor say it. You've said it. Like, what are some lingering things? And start writing them down. And think about, notice how you feel when you're writing these down. So is there something like that's been lingering and you're like, oh man, crap, this thing, right? Notice how you feel and see if you can identify even where that came from, right? Because a lot of times the thing that we procrastinate on, or the thing that moves from list to list to list to list, might be really important, but it could just be something that it could be like something that we're not excited about, or we've lost excitement about it. So sometimes the key to taking action is more than willpower, right? Sometimes the key to taking action is really changing the way that you feel about it, and looking at like, how can I get excited about this? How can I attach this to the lives that are going to change, right? How is this going to benefit me personally, and how is this going to benefit the practice? So finding the benefits in your action list before you take action will fuel you and give you energy to do it, right? And it'll give you creativity too, to be like, hey, you know, if we get more testimonials, right, that's gonna bring in more new patients, you know, which is gonna bring in more profit, which is gonna bring more opportunity for me to get bonus, you know, if that gets you jazzed, you know, or hey, it's gonna be more lives that are gonna be changed, and even in some cases saved, you know. So just notice that as you're jotting throughout today, as things come up, like notice how you feel, see if you can identify why, and find ways to get excited. Like, if I had to be excited about this thing, how could I be excited about it? And you might even write down that question for your use later, or for your team members, or even your doctor, if he's like, oh yeah, I need to do this, you know, before the end of the year. Just straight up ask you, like, okay, if you had to get excited about that, how could you get excited about it? Because that's going to make it so much more fun and easier, and just really give you guys power to help more people. Does that make sense? Yeah, so this is awesome. I've seen all of you writing a lot of things really actively this whole time. That's amazing. And then let's look at some things like So I mentioned patient testimonials. So ask yourself the question, has every patient in our practice that's gotten results, have they given a testimonial, like a video or written testimonial? And if not, like write down a list of names. Maybe that's your action step, to write down the list of names of people you want to ask to give a testimonial, and then just keep that ongoing too. Like then once you get caught up, it's a system. Once you get caught up, every time someone reports a great result, you say, that's amazing. Your testimony would really help a lot of people. Did you know before you came in that chiropractic could help with X, Y, and Z? Would you share that and just grab your phone, take a quick recording? Or if you have a little sheet they could fill out if you like written testimonials. So make it really easy when they're inspired and motivated to do it. Now, what are some other areas? Referrals. Is there anyone, if you have any patients in your practice that haven't brought in their family? Do you have any patients in your practice that haven't booked a health talk for your doctor if you do health talks, if that's something you do? And get those names down. Like that's what I mean when I say clean up the end of the year and follow up and follow through. Like it's on the good stuff, the fun stuff too, not just paperwork. And then get yourself booked out. Like make it your mission this month. If you do health talks, get your health talks booked for the first quarter of next year. If you do referrals, testimonials, like get those all booked this month. And it creates a lot of energy and excitement at the end of the year. And it'll also help you remain consistent in your numbers through the holiday season. Which brings me to one more thing, makeup visits. Don't forget makeup visits on your list. Are you all caught up on makeup visits? Have patients that have missed visits made them up? And if not, like that's the mission this week. Get all your makeup visits on the calendar and then be proactive in, they're going to miss visits during the holidays. So have them make those up now. So literally ask patients, are you going away for Thanksgiving? We're not going to see you on Thursday, the 24th or whatever it is, right? Great. Well, most of our patients, they like to make up their visits in advance before they go. So let's have you come in an extra time next week. That way when you get back, you can smoothly go right back into your rhythm and your schedule. You won't have to worry about makeups. And as you know, an adjustment boosts your immune system by up to 60%. So this is also going to help boost your immune system and get you strong before you go on vacation. Do you want to come in this week or next week for your makeup visit? And then you're teaching them for Christmas because they're going to be gone longer then, right? Or your office will be closed. So then you do the same thing, right? December 1st. Let's book your extra makeup visits. How long are you going to be gone? Or maybe you book it all now this week. Maybe you get all your makeup visits booked in advance. Does that make sense? So it's got like a month, book half before, half after. So this is the time, like we're at the end of the end for holiday makeup visits. It's the next 2 weeks to get those booked. Like that, this is the time because people are getting busy and they have other holiday parties. And this is the time to teach them for next year to make their health their number one priority. That their visit in your office is first, right? If they miss it, they book their makeup in advance before they're going to miss it. That's going to bring so much ease to your schedule. Can you imagine patients just coming up to the front desk? Oh, in March, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. Can I come in an extra day every week of January, February? Like that's the freedom that this brings. You teach them how to do it and then they do it on their own. And like that's what we did in Nona's office when her and I worked together. All of our patients would come to us and make up their visits in advance. Even so much so they'd be like, I feel like I'm getting sick or I was exposed to someone sick. I want to come in extra times this week to boost my immune system. Right? And just in case I have to miss. Like how cool is that? Does anyone else have that? Or is that something you want? Raise your hand if that's something you want. Your patient's actually coming to you to do their makeups. It's huge. Awesome. So that's going to be on your action list for following up at the end of the year. Like who has makeup visits? Who has lingering visits? Booking all the holiday makeup visits. If you're doing any special in December, so one special I like to run in all my offices in December is a gift opportunity. So have you guys talked about that as a team? Like what gift opportunity are you giving people starting December 1st? So it could be like a beautiful little gift basket with a gift card for a day one in your office, and a gift card for a massage, and a gift card for Whole Foods, whatever, some sort of cool little basket that you have wrapped and cute at the front desk that they have the opportunity to buy as Christmas gifts. And then you do it at some crazy discounted rate, something special. So who in your life do you love that you want to enjoy the freedom of health with? Who are they going to say? Everybody, right? These are great gifts for everyone they care about. And so it gives them just another opportunity and another way to bring someone in. And then I've seen patients will, purchase these and give away the day one, but maybe they keep the massage for themselves, or if you have a parent, let's say, that hasn't been lingering and hasn't brought their kids in, this is another opportunity. They purchase this and use the day one for their kid and then use everything else for themselves. So just get really creative in giving suggestions on how they could purchase your special, whatever your December special is. And my teams that do this, it's really cool because they flood their new year with new patients. So like it sets up your whole first quarter to be really busy if you push hard in December with an offering of some kind and a gift. And it's just fun because they get their Christmas shopping done, or a part of it there. So who already has something you're doing in December? Show of hands. I know we have two people here without video, so it's hard to see, but you guys can always write in the comment box. Okay, so who wants to do a special in December? Show of hands. If you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna implement it, put it on my action step right now. Come on, Bass Chiropractic. You guys need a December special. Awesome. Okay, so put that on your list, and then this is something that you can implement and you can take charge on. I'm gonna glance here in the comments really quick. Oh, cool. People are actually writing their action steps. Beautiful. Okay, who had something that didn't come up on your sheet that you think is a great idea, something that other teams might need to follow up on as well? Go ahead and take yourself off mute and share. We've got testimonials, we've got referrals, we've got booking health packs, posture screens, we've got booking makeup visits, we've got doing holiday makeup visits, a holiday gift. Who else has something great? Come on, I've been seeing you guys write like crazy. I know you've got something amazing out there.
So at our office, we do mini birthday packages for patients that come in. Like they'll get like a little fanny pack or a water bottle that says Bass Chiropractic on it. Or actually the fanny pack says, what does it say? Stop looking at my bass.
Cute.
So they get
That's
those.
funny. So
yeah.
that's for their birthday?
We were thinking maybe we could do something like that for a holiday as well.
They also get a little 20% off of
merchandise
and supplements.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, perfect. So the 20% off would be great for your Christmas special, right? Because they could use that or get that for a gift, something they're going to give to other people. I definitely wouldn't do anything with like your brand or logo on it because it doesn't have value yet. Like your current patients, they get that for their birthday. They love it. They want to sport around your logo, right? That's also with like people that give away when a patient comes in for their day one. They're like, here's a water bottle with our logo. Here's a shirt. Like it's cool, but they don't care yet. I'd rather do that when they have like achieved something in the practice. Like they've gotten great results. Here's a gift. That it has value, then they want to wear your logo and drink out of your water bottle. So that's awesome. Very cool. Who else has something that you thought of, a creative thing you're excited about? Shelly, I see you getting close.
I mean, you've named a lot of them. That's what I've been writing down. So nothing new.
Perfect.
Sorry to disappoint.
Awesome. Okay, let's see if we have anyone in the comments. Anything else you want to add? How about you, Allison? We haven't heard from you today. Oh, you're on mute. You got to take yourself off mute. Oh, you're still on mute.
Okay, how's that?
Hi.
Hi, I'm Maria. This is my actually first day in the office. So I've been, So I'm brand new
Oh,
to
good. Well, I hope you're
chiropractic.
writing like crazy because you got a bunch of ideas.
I have, these are some really good ideas, especially going into the holiday season.
Mhm.
And just with COVID and everything, this is actually more of an immediate gift versus things that, you keep hearing it's going to take a long time for physical gifts to get here because of COVID. So
Yes. Oh,
I'm excited.
that's
So
great. Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. That's a good thing to think about. And think in your packet too, like how can you support local businesses too? It doesn't all have to be in-house if you don't have other offerings
Yeah.
at your office. Like Bass Chiropractic, I could see you having in your packet if you have a generic wellness supplement that would benefit everyone, like the one that most people are on, or like an omega, maybe you'd put a small bottle of that in there, things
Okay.
like that. Like, here's a wellness packet. So just think of what do we have in the office that we could use?
Utilize. Yeah.
What do we have that's also going to like bring in more business to different departments? And if you really have nothing, like straight up just chiropractic, which is totally fine, a lot of offices do.
No, there's supplements here and so forth.
Supplements, yeah. So see how you could add those in, or like samples of, maybe it's a sample pack kind of thing, and then they're day
Okay.
one as well. So really the main point is to get them in for chiropractic. And then you can
Right.
also partner with local businesses. Like if there is someone, like what we did is we had a massage therapist that wanted to grow her business. She was brand new. So we asked her if she wanted to donate some 30-minute massages, and we
Okay.
just did there. And then it gave her the opportunity to get new clients too. And like 30
Okay.
minutes massage,
It's
that's
kind of,
still pretty
yeah,
darn
it's
good,
it's a win-win situation. Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds good.
yeah, totally. You're still doing like the whole packet for probably less than the price of day one, but also be
Right.
mindful of your practice revenue as well, too.
Yeah.
Or so think like, what are local businesses? Do you have anything in the building that you can create relationships with? And so you would just go to them and be like, hey, we're a local business. We want to help other businesses grow and create referral relationships. Here's a
Right.
bunch of our cards or invitations to our workshop. We're doing this Christmas
Okay.
special. Do you want
Okay.
to be part of that? Do you want to give me your cards and we'll pass them out to patients that need massages or need this
Yeah.
or that, or personal trainer? Maybe it's think like New Year resolution too. Maybe
Right.
it's like a consult with a personal trainer that you hook up with, and there's like personal trainer consult, a day one in chiropractic, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Awesome. Very cool. Okay, so now what we're going to do for the next 5 minutes is look at your action list and start to find your resources. So what has to happen from the place you're at now with these things you wrote down to them actually getting done? And we want to get really realistic. So the first thing is like building leverage. I want you to look at your list and look at these things and ask yourself, like, why is this so important? Why is it more important than it's ever been before? And like, how can you build leverage for yourself and for your team to make these things happen? So write down your answers, like, why is this important? Beyond like, because it needs to get done, right? You're looking for like, really, if I dig really deep, why am I here? Why am I in this role? Why do I want to contribute? Why are these things important? Because they're going to change lives. They're going to bring freedom. They're going to bring in, more revenue for the practice, which gives us more opportunities to do things and help more people. Bonus structures. We're going to talk about bonus structures. I think that's either next month or the beginning of next year too. So like setting up opportunities for growth, not just for your practice, not just to help people, but also once you're innovative and creating ways to grow, then you have leverage to set up bonus structures too, right? So you could grow personally, but you first have to be able to know how to make things grow and actually take action on it. And then you can create cool structures like, hey, what number do we have to get at for this or that? Like, what number do we have to get at for a Blake bonus? Like, figure that out. I had a team that actually went to their doctor and they're highly motivated, right? Taking action all the time, building the practice. They've been doing really great. And they were like, we want to go to Hawaii. And there's 10 people on their team and we want our families to go too. What will it take? And they literally looked at, and the doctor told me, like, there's no way. Like, I worked the numbers. We'd have to be here by the end of the year. This was last year. And, like, it's impossible, but if we're there, I can take their whole families to Hawaii. We could all go. So I'd like, just do it. Give the team the number. And they gave the team the number and looked at it. They all went to Hawaii. So it was super cool. Like they made it happen. So but first, like learning the structures of how, so your fingers on the pulse, like you can choose how many new patients you want to have that week because you have all the resources to get new patients, and teams are just better at this than doctors too, honestly. Like we just are. So, okay, very cool. So write down leverage. What's your leverage? Why is this so important to you? Why are these things so important to you? Why are they more important than they've ever been before? What freedom will they bring to your life? And you might want to write down those questions too, because those are great questions for patients. Like, I see that you've committed to care here. Why is this so important to you? What freedom will this bring to your life? Why is it more important to you now than it's ever been before to live a healthy and strong life? So everything we do as a team and everything we do in our goal setting, you can use the same structure to help motivate and inspire your patients. Does that make sense? Yeah. Awesome. So you're writing down your leverage. And BAS ladies, since you're all here together, talk amongst yourself of like, what is our leverage? Why is this important now? And be honest too. Like, I love it when people are like, I want to raise. Like it's okay, like to have like it's not selfish leverage, you're contributing, right? But like if you feel like it's something like that and personal, that's fine too. If it's big, global, that's amazing as well. I already know you love helping people and love serving people. That's why you're there, isn't it? That's why you work in chiropractic. I already know you're there for the right reason. So like, who are we going to help? How many people do we want to help? Transforming the community. You're bringing all this freedom and health to the community. Do you have kids? Do you want your kids to grow up in a healthier community? You plan to have kids? Nieces, nephews, family? Do you want more resources for health in your community? More like-minded people, more friends that think like you, and live like you? Notice how as you're building leverage for yourself, like this is the work that you're doing, you're building leverage for yourself by asking yourself these questions. Notice how the excitement level goes up, how things that weren't that exciting when you wrote them down, now that you're creating leverage, they're more exciting and you have more energy and focus to go into that. And that's the same thing we teach our patients to do with their care. You're always building leverage on the daily visit for your patients. Okay, who had something that when you first thought of it or wrote it down, you really, really, really weren't excited about it? You're like, but now you're kind of getting excited. Who has one of those things where you felt like an obvious difference about it? Show of hands. I'm gonna call on somebody. Who has one? Did you have one, Shelly? Something that at first wasn't that exciting or maybe even stressful, but now you've been able to create leverage for yourself? Were you able to get there?
Yeah, a little bit. I think so. Well, I wrote because important because I want to spread the wealth that is of health and have a more health conscious community. That way people can be more supportive of each other. And just imagining that would be super nice. Like I guess that got me excited. Like, okay,
awesome.
Feeling that would be great.
That's amazing. And that's what you're creating. So notice how she's imagining it, like imagining and actually allowing yourself to think of and feel the freedom that that's going to bring and get excited about it. Imagine what your community would be like. Oh my gosh, you work there? Like you worked at Fast Chiropractic? Oh my gosh, like that place changed my life. Like being in that community, in that culture. That's amazing. Very cool. Okay, last step. And then we're going to open up a Q&A. So the last step is writing down your buy when and your resources. So when you zip through your list, like when are the realistic times to start these things? And it's just to start them, like when am I going to make my list of makeup people? Like, okay, I'm going to make that Friday. When am I going to? So like just to get the ball rolling. So jot down some dates and then your resources, who's going to help you with this or who's going to do it. So if you have your whole team there, you can talk amongst your team or you can delegate, figure out like, okay, this is a good thing for me. This I'm going to ask my doctor to do. This I'm going to ask this team member to do. Maybe you're flying solo, so you get to take action and do it all. What resources, other healthcare professionals in the community, your massage therapist. And the key to this is speed. That's where we're going through fast. Like keep the energy up. So for 1 more minute, jot down on your list, like who are your resources? Who's going to do what? By when? So by the end of the 2 minutes, you should have it like super clean and really solid. We're taking imperfect action here. Imperfect action is better than no action. Carrie and Andy, are there anything you want to share with us from your list? I know you're not on video, but if you want to take yourself off mute, if there's any action steps you want to share, what you're excited about, you're welcome to do that. Sorry, Carrie, we haven't checked in with you yet. Andy's been very active in the chat box.
I don't really have anything, but I just want to say hi.
Hi.
I know you don't see my face, but you've seen you. If you saw my face, you'd recognize it.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm really glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. And hopefully you got some really powerful action steps for your team.
I did for my the others input, for sure.
Oh, cool. Awesome. And for yourself, do you have specific things that you're going to do?
I think I'm gonna pick a day to go over the makeup list of people. So I'm gonna like schedule a time and just like I always have a thing of like it's got to put it on the schedule because if you don't put it on the schedule, it's not gonna happen.
Definitely.
So I'm gonna pick a day and a time to go over the makeups. To catch up on the makeup patients.
100%. So that's exactly what we're doing now, picking the dates, right? Picking the dates and the times, your by when, like I'm gonna do this by this date for everything on your list. So I know a couple of you will probably add in more resources and more dates after the call, but I wanted to open up the last couple minutes for Q&A, either related to this lesson or anything else, like any questions you have CA related, like what are you working on? What do you need help with? And we will open that up. So I know some of you came with things or your doctor might have sent you with things. So if you look at everything in the practice and your role, what needs work? This is your time and your moment. You've got a panel here of people to help you. don't think I've ever had a stall this long when I ask people what they want to work on. What do you guys want to work on?
One of the things that we are currently trying to work on is setting our holiday schedule and hours. So we know Thanksgiving is coming up, and Christmas is coming up, and other holiday things. So we haven't had the time yet, but we are planning on having a little meeting with all of our staff
Today, actually.
Today?
Yeah, during our Tuesday meeting.
Okay, so we are today. We have it in our schedule for our afternoon staff meeting about trying to set holiday days and hours.
That way we're not scheduling the patients and then realize like, oh, people are out of town. We have to call them and reschedule.
And then at the same time, during that Thanksgiving week, one of those days we're going to focus on inputting our quarterly and end of year stats so that when December rolls around, we're not trying to play catch up. So we're going to try to do all of November, and then we're going to leave the December one for a later date.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just did that with my taxes. I'm caught up to date. I'm so excited. It's such freedom. I'm like the extension queen. I've gotten extensions the last 3 years. This year I'm like, I'm caught up. I'm ready to go. Very cool. So for your schedule, when you do your holiday schedule, who's front desk? Raise your hand if you're front desk. Okay, perfect.
Well,
so,
kind of.
whatever days you're closed, it's your job to look, anticipate, like obviously we're going to be closed Thursday, Thanksgiving, right? So what patients come in Thursday? Book their makeup visits now, like literally now, this week. Call them if you have to. Ask them when they're in, like be really persistent. So everybody that normally comes in Thursday, book them before that, So that'll be really helpful because once you guys do your holiday schedule, then your front desk can get everybody's makeups done in advance. That's awesome. And really like the only days for patients that you really should be closed, in my opinion, is Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. And then the rest is up to you guys, like your schedule and the team schedule. Another thing I would mention too, if your doctors want to just not close the week of Christmas, don't freak out if one of you is going to be out of town or something like that, because those weeks do tend to be slower anyways, and you're going to get all the makeup visits in advance. So you guys can handle it with a smaller team, or you guys could trade off, that week as well. Like, let's say you all have family in town. You're not going to need as much manpower right before the holidays because you're getting prepared now and scheduling those makeup visits in advance. So if anyone wants to go on vacation, right, like let's get everything cleaned up and taken care of. But that's something because we have so many new teams that I've seen before, like teams freak out, like I'm the only CA that's going to be here, for the week. Like it'll be fine. Just get your makeups in advance and
also working on cross training. So in case one of us does decide to take, holiday time off with their families, we all can kind of manage because we're all still fairly new, we're a pretty brand new team. So yeah, we're still trying to schedule in some cross training.
Oh, good. And I know that we have some one-on-one meetings and things coming up. So that's something I can help you guys with, is just prioritizing what you need to cross train on first.
We have our list of things that we need to cross train on. We just haven't had the actual sit down time or put it in the schedule yet because we've been very busy.
And there's only a few things that you need to cross train on to keep the boat floating. You don't need to master the other person's role like that. Yes, like over time, after 3 months of cross train. But for someone to be able to go, you just need a few of the basics to make it happen. Very cool. Okay, so we have someone in the comment box say, what is the best advice you all can give to a new CA? And someone already replied, keep a positive attitude, be open and learning, and show effort and bring positive energy. So the best advice I could give to a new CA would be to two things. One, to feel, learn, and experience the power of chiropractic. And to do that, find the congruency within yourself. So are you under care? Like, are you doing what you recommend for patients? Are you getting adjusted? You know, and be able to experience like the miracle that chiropractic is yourself, because that's going to fuel you and give you energy. And even just physically, it'll give you more physical energy if you're well adjusted, keep you healthier. So experiencing it yourself, be congruent. The second thing I would say is have grace with yourself as well too. Like it really takes a whole year to totally master the CA role. And so like you're not going to build Rome in a day, and that's okay. Like learn and prioritize like what's the most important thing. And it always seems like a lot. Every CA I've worked with, like there's all these moving parts when you start. Sometimes you're like, what the hell are we even talking about? You know? But it gets easier and easier. Like before you know it, you'll know everything and how it all works, and you'll be in charge. So give yourself some grace. Look at how you can be congruent with what you're doing, get excited, and learn about chiropractic, learn how to explain it, the power of what you do, posture, organ, the way the brain communicates with the organs and brings life force and energy to your body. Learn that verbiage. The last thing I would say is before you walk into the office, asking yourself the question, is there anything in my life, any thoughts on my mind that are not going to serve my patients during this shift? Like, are there any thoughts in my mind, any distractions that are not going to serve me, my patients, and my team during the shift? And if they are, just leave them outside of the office. Give yourself the gift of having a break from your problems from the time you're in the office, and that will also bring you into complete presence with people, and it's a place they come to heal. So we don't want to put our stuff on them, even if it's just our mind being distracted. And then if we're really honest, we're not giving 100%, you know? So just leaving anything we don't need, just don't even let it come into your mind. You know, what can I focus on instead? What's great here? What's working in the office? How can I love and appreciate the person right in front of me? And keep that energy, and that's a place of power, and it frees up your mind too to just learn and grow and sponge. Let's hear from the group. This is such a great question. Who has something right away that would be your advice for a brand new CA?
I was writing it down in the chat box, and then I realized that it's probably a little long.
Oh, okay.
So I would say don't be afraid to ask questions. You know, when you're learning something, if you really don't understand it, just be honest and let them know you don't understand. One thing that we allow in our office is to be able to record a training, like a little mini, phone call training, or how to set up patients on the adjustment bed or with their bracing or any other services that we provide here. We right away, we ask our doctor, can we record this? And she always says yes, but we just need that little second so that we can always go back and watch the videos, and then we share it with our team, or we sit down and we watch it together and we go kind of step by step, like, did you understand this? Do you need clarification? Or we role play. And then we also have our own like notebooks. So whenever we have something that we need to do, or like a list of things that need to get done, we say, hold on, give me one quick second. We grab it, open it up, write the date, and write it all down. So that when we check in, if you have a little bit of time when it's slow, we go back to that notebook and we're like, oh, okay, these are some of the things that I need to get done. So that is my best advice I can ever give, or even reiterate it. If like, for example, Julisse is the newest member, and I ask her to do something. She says, okay, hold on, wait. So do you want me to do this, this, and this? And I say, yes. So don't be afraid, because it's better to ask and get that clarification than to do something incorrectly. And then you kind of,
Definitely. Yes. You don't have to pretend like you know what you're doing. That's amazing advice. I love that so much. That's amazing. Ask and use your resources too. Because you're here, it tells me you have resources, right? You have a coach, or you have coaches. And those of you that are with me monthly, if you're interested in joining weekly, like the BAS team, they're here for the weekly. We meet the first 3 weeks of the month. And then the fourth week is implementation. So if you're like, I want more support from other CAs, we also have a private Facebook group just for people here. So you could reach out throughout the week, like to each other and to me. And I'll even, if someone puts in a question, I'll make a training video for you on how to do something and send it, like a 5-minute clip. Or other people can do that too. Like you could do that for each other. Like, here's what we're doing in the office. Super cool. Like you could do it too. Bam. So there's a lot of power that we have together. And the chiropractors have this, right? Like they go to events, seminars, they have chiropractic friends, they call and ask about stuff. So this is your CA environment to ask questions, use your resources, ask your doctor. Okay, so we are actually at the top of the hour. If anyone needs to hop off, I'm going to hang out for like 5 more minutes just to be available to answer questions if you need it. If not, you are welcome to hop off. Thank you so much. Did you guys get what you came here for today when you sent those intentions? Yes. Thumbs up if you got what you came here for. Beautiful, beautiful. Reach out to me privately if you need help with anything else. If you want to be here for the weekly, if you want help optimizing your schedule, if there's any way I can help you, that's what I'm here for. It's my mission and my greatest honor in life. So I'm happy to help. And any other questions, if you need to pop off when you need to. I have about two more minutes left in my schedule today if anyone has more questions. Thanks, y'all, from Carrie.
Thank you.
Energy from AID. My pleasure. It was great to see you all. I'll see some of you next week or next month. Bye, ladies.
Thank you.
Bye.